Coach, thank you very much for your time, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, my brother.
Yeah. We're with Coach Vuyisani Mangaliso, known as Coach Mavovo,
Yeah.
Of Amavarara, who are here to play against ETS Galaxy in the last 32 of the Nedbank Cup. Are you excited or scared, my brother?
I have a bit of both because with the hard work that we've put in from last season, I think it's one of the fruits that are coming out now because we worked very hard last season. We became number 2 in our stream and then behind Spears that went to lose at the semi-finals at the national playoffs. So I'm not scared as per se. I'm just excited about. But you always be nervous about anything because the type of person that I am, I get nervous even on friendlies. Yeah.
Coach, before we get into what we want to talk about the game tomorrow, if you can just briefly, your playing career, your coaching career, where did you play, and when did you start coaching?
Yeah, my playing career. I started playing in a dusty field and mountains. There's a small town in Eastern Cape called Maclear. I grew up there. I was born there. People will know Maclear because of a guy called Nati Mangai, the singer. So I think we grew up together there. So I grew up there, but he was not a soccer player. I was playing on those dusty. But I started playing with older people at a very young age because of my body and all that. When I was 13, I started playing with the seniors, and there was a team called Maclear Swallows. That's where I learned quite a lot of things there. While a team that was playing in an amateur league called LFA today, but they taught us a lot of things. They taught us in terms of discipline and all those things. And then I started playing there, and we won the league then. We went to play playoffs to be in SAB, that is called now, but we lost out in a team called Dangerous Takis from Tata. And then I moved to Cape Town. When I moved to Cape Town, I started playing there around, playing for a team called 11 Express. So that's when everything started to look better for me, and then I started moving. I moved around the country. I moved to Northern Cape. I played for teams like Pescott. I played for teams like Wings United and all that in the Northern Cape. And then I moved to KZN. I moved to KZN in a team called Island in the same division. And then I moved to Eastern Cape as well in a team called Elliot FC. I played for Tornado before I started coaching it. I was around in the same division. I was never lucky, or maybe I never worked hard enough to get to the PSL. I don't know.
That
But
division, coach, being the ABC Motsepe League.
yes, I started when it was Vodacom, and then it became second division when there was no sponsor. I was playing there then as a goalkeeper. Yeah, so since I've played, I started sitting on a bench when I was about to retire. That's why I retired. But since I started playing, bench, I didn't know the bench because I noticed that I have leadership skills from a young age because I could lead older people when I was still 13. But I continued, but I never thought I'll be a coach one day because it wasn't in my mind, because I had a friend called Skribo Chanda. We were playing for 11 Express, both of us. We had an ambition to be a coach when I played at school. If you still remember, if you know this tournament called Motsepe, this is for under 19s now, for schools. Came Motsepe. So I started playing when that tournament opened in 2004. I played for my school. My school was called Joe Slovo. We played, it was in Pretoria. We played our games in HMPG. It was a nice experience. So I took all that experience when I started coaching. I started coaching at a team called, I started in this team actually. Because
so your first coaching job was with Amavarara?
Yeah, it was with Amavarara as a goalkeeper coach. I had just retired from playing. And then a friend of mine from Cape Town called Tabo. I didn't know anything about Amavarara. A friend of mine knew the then chairman called Lusapo Mzwagali. So he knew the guy, and then he called me and said, look, you can come and help. They are going for SAB playoffs in Alice. So I said, okay, I can come and help. But the chairman then, he wanted me to play. I said, I'm not interested in playing anymore. And then I came as a goalkeeper coach. Unfortunately, we lost in those playoffs. And while we were those playoffs, Coach Sepomtsaneng, since we worked at Tornado at the time I was playing there, he was my goalkeeper coach. He always told me that, look, the intel that you have, it can help in a way because you have such an intel that most coaches don't have, that are very experienced. So when I get a job one day, I'll take you and then I'll start working with you. I said to him, no problem. But I never trusted that. And lucky enough, when I just left Tornado in December, I think in April he got the job at Tornado as a head coach because the head coach resigned. It was Coach Tobela Bikwan. Then he resigned and he took over. When he took over, he called me and said, my man, come. I said, my man, I can't go back there because I don't like to be there. He says, no, come. I said, let's start next season. And then I went to Amavarara, and then I think in June, there were there were national playoffs that were taking place in East London then. We went to watch those playoffs before we went to our playoffs as Amavarara, and then I met the late chairman, Tatu Mavovo, and then we spoke. He said he doesn't have a problem, I can join the team and all that. And then I started with Coach Tsepo. That's when I started coaching, really coaching, because
so Coach Tsepo, when you are playing, he was a goalkeeper coach.
Yes.
When he became coach, you became his goalkeeper coach for his team.
Yes, he said to me, look, you start as a goalkeeper coach. But I was a goalkeeper coach for 2 months. And then he said to me, I leave this thing, man. Because this is not for you. Because now I need you next to me, mostly because we'll just interact on this thing. We'll do one day, or maybe a day or two, I'll do the keepers because he's also good at it. And say, a day or two, I'll do the keepers. And then that was it. And then I started, and then after 2 months, he said, come, you are my assistant now. I was quite nervous, to be honest. I remember my first session, it was even difficult to put in cones, and I was counting wrong, I was doing all the wrong things. But now, after I was counting and doing all those things, and then he was just patient with me. He said, calm down. Because I looked at the guys that were there, most of the guys that were there, I played with them and I retired. Now those guys were like, Mfetu, are you serious? Are you really a coach? I said, yeah, I'm starting this thing, my man. When you start, I'll be an experienced coach there. And then they were laughing at me. I think I remember one time when we were done this coaching thing with Coach Sepp, we went to play a pre-season friendly against Tata Parks in Tujo or Tu or somewhere there. We played that friendly. I remember some of the guys, Mpoi Rasmus, that is playing for Zizwe now.
Yes.
All of those guys that were playing there that knows me, they came to me and said, "When a coach?" Man,
We were playing with you just yesterday.
yeah, they said, "No, when you can't be a coach because you like jokes too much." I said, "My man, the time I was playing, I was taking notes of everything that I was doing. I can tell you what we were doing at 11 Express. Then we were coached by a coach called Mike Lukubeni. He was with Royal I can tell you his sessions because I could. Him as well, he doesn't know that I was looking at every, because then they looked at me as this guy likes to joke. But I would take those notes, I would keep them and all that. I would use them at school then when we don't have a teacher to coach us at school. But I grew from there. We went to the playoffs in our first season with Coach Sepomtsaneng and Polokwane. It was a very good experience for us. We still feel today we had a chance to qualify there. Maybe if we had qualified there, maybe lives could have been changed that time. But now we couldn't qualify. But we went for 2 seasons. We played 40 games, unbeaten. It was a good run for us. Second season, we went again. We even told the chairman, we'll win this league, don't worry. He said, hey, are you sure? We said, no, we're sure we're going to win it again. We won it again. We were lucky to play against Kaizer Chiefs in the Nedbank Cup. We played Kaizer Chiefs. We lost at the end there with the extra time and all that. It was a good experience for us. And then we worked, and then he left for Pondo. After we came back from the playoffs, he got a job, I think, at Pondo. I stayed at home. It was stressful, and then COVID hit. After COVID, there was a coach called late Coach Chabalala, Never Chabalala, from Free State as well, and Motsepe, he called me because he coached me at the island in Kwanongoma. He coached me there. He said to me, look, since I know you, I don't know, from 2010, he thought that maybe I can be a good coach as well from then. He said to me, since I know you, I know what you can do, and you were helping a lot the time we were still playing. Come, let's help. Let's work together in Lesotho. I went to Lesotho. I was his assistant. We coached there, but unfortunately, he lost his life through COVID. And when I was there, they just told me straight that, look, we're not going to take anyone else. We like what you're doing here. We think that you must continue with the team. We'll make you an interim coach now, so until we're extremely happy with your job and all that. Then you'll take over and be a head coach. I said, no problem, I'll take the challenge. And then I took the challenge.
Which team is this now?
It's called Diodi FC. It's called Diodi Football Club. It's based in a place called Teaneng in Lesotho. So Premier Division. In the Premier Division, we played there. We only lost once. Most of the games of the first round. I can't remember. We played 10. Yeah. I think we played 10. We lost only one. We lost the last game of December. Yeah. And then after that, we tried. COVID was stopping us. We didn't know what to do and all that. And in South Africa, it was level 3 then. And then Coach Sepo, after he left Pondo Chiefs, he called me again. He said, look, there's an opportunity for us to do this thing again, to win this league again. I said, where? He said to me, there's a team called BCM in East London. Let's just go and do this thing again. I said, hey, I have an opportunity here to be on my own and do this thing. Yeah, and in the Premier League and all that. He said, okay, no problem. But my worry is that we don't know what is this COVID going to do. How long is it going to last? Come and make money in South Africa, you'll be fine. When they want to beg, you leave them with something. When they want to beg, they'll call you and say they want to beg. Leave them. He said, we talked about it. I spoke with my girlfriend at home. I spoke with my family. I spoke with everyone. They said, okay, take it. You understand? And then I left Lesotho. I came back. I left Lesotho. I hiked until East London. I hiked from Lesotho until East London. And then when I got to East London, we got to work there. Fortunately for us, we won our stream. We won that provincial game. And then we went to the playoffs again in Mpumalanga. Unfortunately, there as well, we couldn't promote the very, very good team that we had there. We had very, very good team. If you're talking about the cream, we had the cream there, but unfortunately, we couldn't qualify. And then after that, I sat at home. The then chairman Lusapo, he called me. He said, look, there's this, and I want you to come and coach my team because I believe you are one person that can shape this team and make this team a machine. I said, how do you know this? He said, look, I've been looking at you, I've been watching you, and come and let's do this. I said, okay, no problem. I went, we started. When I started, no one understood what I wanted to do, to be honest. People were fighting.
So and which year is this now?
I think it was last of last year, I think, when I started with Amavarara in August. Last of last year. And now, they didn't understand really what I really want for this team. And I always told them that, look, this team has talent. There's very good young boys in this club. And then he just needed someone that was going to make sure that he pushes them. And then I took over. We just trained for 1.5 weeks. We went to play an official game of the Nedbank Cup. We lost against Spears, but we gave Spears a run for their money. And then that's when I saw that there's potential in this thing. There might be something here. And then I asked for signings. They said, no, work with what you have. I said, no problem. I'll take whatever that I have because I have that belief if you are a very good coach, just take whatever that you have, turn it into something. And then I did exactly that. We worked, and then I was fortunate to get 1 or 2 players that we coached at Tornado with Nsioko and Lucky. We mixed the team around, and then our team was good. It was difficult. We were a very difficult team to beat. We lost the league from our mistakes because most of the boys that we had were still young. They didn't really understand what is really going on. But we lost the league last season. We became number 2 in our stream and all that. Yeah, and then now again they trusted me in this season. I said, okay, since Tsepo is available, I said, come my brother, let's do it again. Join me now. I've been joining you and joining you. Now you can come and join me. Unfortunately, he left us in pre-season. He went to join Ravens, and then the chairman called Akona Pele. He said to me, look, I trust you with this team and all that. I said, okay, no problem. I took over. We went on, started well, and then we went on and on and on. That's where we are today.
So, Coach, you've been around in the ABC Motsepe League. You've got a lot of experience in this league.
Yeah, I've been around, but not everyone can say that because one thing I noticed is that people who still look at me as that assistant coach of Tsepo Training, they don't look at me as myself, as someone that can do this thing. I still have people that are doubting what I can do, but it's good that it's motivating me every day, and it makes me wake up every day to want to go and show what I can do. You understand? So I'm not saying I'm the best or anything, but I believe on what I do, and I believe on what I can deliver and all that. I believe so much in that because, and that what helps me a lot with that is that I have players that are always there to support me all the time. I have family that is always on my back supporting me, and then I have people that are around the province that I've met and sat and spoke with. They always say good things to me. They always say all those things, and then I meet those that I say but it's a good thing. It's a good mix. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
Coach, do you perhaps feel that with Coach Tsepo getting another opportunity at Ravens, and you now working alone, not well by alone I mean without him, because obviously you are surrounded by a technical team. But do you feel that it has allowed you an opportunity to come out of Tsepo's shadow, and people can now see Coach Mavovo as a coach who's standing on his own, qualifying for the Nedbank last 32 and leading in the league?
Yeah, funny enough, he told me like when we were starting, he said to me, look, me and you are not going to belong like together and all that, because I believe you have the ability to stand on your own. You will stand on your own. And one day when we meet, if anyone loses, it must not be bad blood between us and all that. I said, no problem. I didn't believe him then. And then when he said to me, Mona, it's your time. And then I said, okay, fine. Let me take the opportunity and move on. And then I moved on with it. And we still support each other even today. We still talk every day. Even when I came here, he came to the airport to greet me and all that in Bloemfontein. Yeah, because he's one of the great supports that I have, and he allowed me to be myself. He said, go on, because I believe you.
Coach,
Sure.
So far you've played 12 games, you've won 7, you've drawn 4 and only lost 1 game. 4 games to go. Can you clinch it?
Yeah, that's a plan. We need to win, because when we play in this club, we play to win each and every game that we play. We planning, even if it's a friendly against an LFA team or whatever that we do, we try and have the winning mentality to go all the way with our preparations and all that. You understand? So we need to win every game that we play. We need to win all the 4 games that is left for us.
Coach, someone might look at the stats like you've lost 1 game, you've managed to score 22 goals in just 12 games, and you've only conceded 9. Someone might think Amavarara cruising here is too easy for them.
Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, with us, I always hear people saying that Eastern Cape it's tough. The toughest leagues in the ABC is Joburg, Cape Town, or Durban. You understand? People don't really realize or understand that there's a lot that you have to deal with in our league. You have to travel 7 hours to just go to a game. There's weather that is a problem. There's heat. There's always heat. Sometimes there's rain most of the time. So there's quite a lot of things that are, lot of factors, and we have to deal with things that now you are away. You're feeling it when you are away there, that you are away, because in these other leagues here, I can tell even now here in Joburg, you only travel for 30 minutes is the furthest. For us, it's quite a lot that you have to deal with.
So it's tough.
It's very, very tough, because most of the players that you have, players that are not from the area that you are in, but most of them, they are from the province, Eastern Cape, but not the area that you are in Lady Grey. Now you have to run the clubhouse. There's quite a lot of money that you have to use, and you get problems when something like that happens, especially when there's no sponsor or anything else. Teams will struggle here and there, but through all those struggles, especially there with us, there's no facilities where we are. I can tell you now that my team, when sometimes we don't even have a training field, we go and train up, and then that's it. We continue with life, because we believe that we know what we want. That training a facility cannot determine that we cannot win the league because our facility is this. We cannot win the league because last 2 days we didn't eat. What's more important is that if we ate 2 days before the game or a day before the game, we go on and play. Because you see, if you're looking at all these things, when we were kids, you go the whole day without eating, right? You go and play football and come back late. You even forget that you are hungry because you have the love of this day. When you come back, you eat and then you sleep. That's it. That's the mindset that I put in on these players. I said, look, if you know what you want, take everything that is coming to you and then move on with life. Because if you're going to say, we didn't eat pre-match meal, now I can't play. We didn't know anything about pre-match meals.
When we were younger,
we didn't know pre-match meals. Those are the things that you just find out now. So we used to eat once maybe in the morning and then go the whole day and play. So you can't tell me now that I didn't eat pre-match meal, I didn't eat in the morning, and drink water, my man, let's go.
So that's the mindset.
That's the mindset. I always tell them that even if I'm not away while I'm still in this country, most people that are here in this country, we're eating the same food, we doing mostly the same things, same languages and all that. Yes, there might be different cultures here and there, but if I'm in Eastern Cape, the whole Eastern Cape speaks Xhosa. So why would I say we are away? They eat cabbage, not is I eat cabbage. So there's no difference. It's still at home.
Coach, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, in KZN, a game between Stonebreakers and Jambela had to be abandoned because there was an attack on the referee. And these things happen in most provinces. How are things in the Eastern Cape?
I think their teams are well behaved, to be honest. It's not like there's not such of officials that can decide games. There are games like that. I can tell you now that the game that we lost against Mata Milan, I still feel we were hard done there. But I hate going after the referees and talking about them and all that. I just work with my team, and then I tell my team that even if it does whatever that it does, concentrate on what you're here for. But you can't stop a goal from when you build up the goal the way that we've trained. You can't stop that. You understand?
You just have to score.
You just have to go in and score. You can see we're scoring goals because we always want to score. We always want to go out and win, regardless of whatever that is happening. But there we were unfortunate. I can tell you now that we scored first 2 goals. One was rolled out of because they said it was an offside from a set piece. The other one, we scored. The guy, they said, a small boy, like that game, it still makes me angry though. But the small boy, they said he pushed a very big guy. Because music came out 1-on-1 and then he took the ball over the keeper. The ball was bouncing, the ball was in already, the guy fell, and then they said the guy was pushed. And then the goal was stopped. We scored 2 goals and then we lost 2-1. It's okay. We took that loss and then we said we'll regroup. We'll go to where we want to go, because we need to have a mentality that with everything that is being brought to you, because I believe in one thing, is that your way to success might not be the same as the way that we had at the BCM with the cream there with players, there were difficulties, but there were no like this one. I said to these boys, maybe your success had to come this way so that you know exactly when you get promoted, you don't want to be relegated again to come back to this. You fight hard to stay where you are.
Coach, you are in the last 32 of the Nedbank Cup. Just briefly, because you know PSL teams, they start from the last 32. The NFD, they have a playoff there amongst themselves. But for ABC Motsepe League teams and the regional league teams, it's a long route.
Jeez. You know, my players ate balloon in the whole tournament. When we started in Queenstown, we went to Queenstown, we won there because it starts with tournaments and then there's 4 teams and we won there. I can tell you now, these boys, the sacrifices that they made, we didn't really have money then. We didn't really have money, but my boys were just there eating that baloney. I said, we're going on. Yeah, baloney and bread, we moved on. Because it's something, we're going on. You can have your heartburn, no problem. We'll drink water, that heartburn will go. And then we moved on and on, do you understand? But we can't say that it's a good journey, but it's tough for us down there because after you've played all those games, you need to play again and with an SAB club. Those teams are very difficult to play against.
Coach, in terms of the number of games, just to give us the number, how many games did you play for you to get in the last 32?
I think we played 4 games. I think 4 games, five with the ABCB side.
Okay, so it's 5 games to get.
Yeah, and then when we get here,
you get TS
yes, and then you get TS Galaxy or Sundowns, and then they wallop you, and then we are out again. You understand? And but it's a good exposure for the players, and I love the tournament because the tournament can help you a lot in terms of preparing for playoffs if you're really going to the playoffs and all. Because if you see, our league is the highest level of SAFA. You understand? So when you get to the playoffs, it's more of a higher level. There's very good teams, there's very good coaches, and there's very well organized teams and all those things.
Coach, tomorrow you play ETS Galaxy. What were your thoughts when you saw the draw?
I didn't like it. I hated the draw. Even after I couldn't sleep because I just wanted my players to play, maybe get their peers in the ABC or take nothing away from the team from the ABC. They are also good teams and all, but I didn't like the draw. I didn't want to play against the PSL side. But after it happened, I said, okay, it's a good opportunity for everyone. It's a good opportunity for me too, as a coach, so that I can showcase what I can do as well, because most people will be watching now.
Coach, in terms of preparation, is there something you did differently preparing this game to what you usually do when you're preparing for your league games in the ABC Motsepe League?
Yeah, for me, every game is different. Even in our league games, I approach games very differently. I can't take and say like, I will do whatever, because Galaxy is not like the teams that we're playing there, and the field is not like the field that we play in, the fields that we play in at home. So there are quite a lot of things that are very different. Now we are in a luxury hotel. We don't get a luxury hotel. It's just a guest house, and then we eat KFC, and then we go in and play. Now there's quite a lot of dynamics that are happening, and we just have to go through them.
Coach, during the week we saw Dondol Stars, who are in the ABC Motsepe League, take down a giant in SuperSport United. Did that encourage your boys? Did that encourage you to say, look, guys, we can also do it?
Yeah, it encouraged them, and for me personally, I couldn't stop talking about it at training the following day, because for me personally, it says that there's quite a lot of work that has been done here in this league, and I believe that the coaches that are coaching in this league are having it hard. and they need to be respected. Players that are playing in this league, they are having it hard. They need to be respected. So what they did for me was good, and I was even vouching for them. I was making noise, and then even the landlord where I'm staying says I was making noise. I was happy for them because it's not easy coaching in this division. I hear people are saying, it's not easy. I can tell you that there's quite a lot that we deal with in this division. Everywhere in South Africa. This division is very tough. It's very, very tough. There are things that some coaches, I can say it now, some coaches that are in the PSL, they can't take them down there.
Coach, for your boys, I'm sure some are excited to be playing against players that they look up to, a team that plays in the league that they aspire to play in as well. And obviously, some are scared to be coming up against these big players. How are you managing their psyche, how they are mentally going into this game to ensure that they bring out their best, they don't allow the occasion to swallow them in this game?
To be quite honest, whatever that I can say to them now, or what I've said during the week or months preparing to come to this, it will depend tomorrow, because I can't go into the players' body and whatever. But whatever that I told them that, look, they are not that different from who you are. They started where you are, most of them. Leave the guys that are not from South Africa. I don't know where did they start, but I believe that every professional player started somewhere. So they started to where you are. They are not that different from what you are doing, and especially tactics not that different from what you're going to get against them, because we've watched their games as well. I've watched them with them, and then I told them that if you go in there tomorrow, just go and enjoy yourselves. Just go and play football the way you've been taught how to, and then mostly just enjoy yourselves. Just showcase who you are, showcase what the team can do. That's all. Because if you go there and respect people and say, "Ish, this guy, I always watch him on TV every day." For you to get to that TV, you have to play against him and beat him, so that they take you. If they take you now, you're going to be playing on TV as well with the same guy. Or you'll play for maybe even better team or somewhere, because nowadays it's easy for players to go anywhere, because there's all this internet and all that, because they can watch that video somewhere overseas and then they take you. So one thing that you have to do, just showcase what you can do. Don't think about anything else. Just think about what you can do on the day. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about what you can do.
Coach, what can we expect tomorrow? Are you going to sit back, maybe try to play on the counter, apply a low block so that maybe you don't get humiliated by a big score, or you're going to go all out and play your normal game and try to score as well?
No, for me, most of the time I don't go to game and say, hey, this game I want this and that, I want that. It will depend on how I feel on that day and how I see things, and then I'll just do it. Because if I say now I'm going to play a low block, when I get there, I have chances to play. Now I can't play because I've practiced a low block, and then I've told players to do a low block. And then when I say I'm doing a low block, they score. Now I have to come out again and all those things. But it will depend on the day.
So we are ready for anything?
For anything, because when you do all these things, because you can't say this thing. If for Galaxy, for example, I can't say Galaxy is playing this way. They are only, because Galaxy is mixing quite a lot of things that they are doing. So you have to prepare around all those things that they are doing, all those dynamics that they try to do, all those movements that they are trying to do, and you have to be ready for anything. Because after Super Sports, they might come saying that, "Hey, Alaba, Nedbank and a fast score." They might come and say, "Hey, we have to be cautious, because if you go rushing to them, when they come out, they score us like they scored Super Sport midweek." You see, even them, they don't really know what to expect. They don't really know what to do. Even me, I can't say, we're going for a low block. We don't want to be embarrassed. But for me, I'm not worried about being embarrassed. I can be beaten 8, I don't care. But as long as the boys had exposure, as long as the boys enjoyed themselves, because I can tell you now that you can play Nedbank Cup and win. Even if, let's say, we're winning it, right? we get the first prize. Can that first prize even pay or buy another status for first division? It can't. You understand? I won't be promoted by being given a cup. It's a good achievement, you understand? But the main focus is to get promoted, get to another level. Good CV for me, good for the players as well. And I said, yes, by winning this cup as well, good CV for me. But what I can tell you, we'll just go there. We'll give Galaxy a game.
Coach, thank you very much for your time, and we wish you all the best tomorrow.
Thank you so much, my brothers. It's nice having you, and I hope it doesn't end here. I wish to have you one day in Eastern Cape, touring Eastern Cape, seeing everything that we do there, because we're so passionate about whatever that we do in that province. And I can tell you now, I can tell everybody that will be watching this, is that can happen there. There's a lot. It's not even fair to have one team which is Chippa United for a province so vast and has so much talent.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you so much.